Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So yesterday I talked about the business card scanner, the AI builder and PowerApps, and I showed there's a new functionality for the AI builder in PowerApps, so you can select, and then I mentioned you can create a PowerApps yourself. I also showed with the trial version of Dynamics 365 Sales. Currently, you do not have the ability to use the scan business card with the trial version yet. Maybe you have to purchase the production version for Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprise to get the business card scanner functionality. So today, I want to share is I created PowerApps by myself with the functionality of that AI builder of the business card scanner. And then I'll show you how this app works first, and then I'll show you step by step for how to create this app with PowerApps and the Flow. So here you see when I log into my PowerApps, then I have this app called Business Card Scanner created. So to run it, I just click on this, and then you will see the interface for my app. Then on the top, you have the scan business card. You have this screen. So you can just click on this screen, and you can select a picture of the business card. You may already took the picture of the business card previously and saved on your computer. Then you can just select on the image. Then this AI builder will analyze your business card and populate the information here. So you can see it populate your first name, last name, email, job title, phone number, company. So compared with this business card, it's pretty much accurate. Only this email is missing some characters in the front. So you can just edit that in this app yourself. So because it's still using artificial intelligence, it cannot be 100% all the time. You have to train the app, you have to train the artificial intelligence for it to be accurate. Okay, so after all the information populated here, then you can click on create a lead. So when you click on create a lead, then if it's successful, then it will give you a icon telling you it's success. So at the back end, so what this lead goes, it will go to my CRM. So I have my CRM open here. It's our sandbox. Then I'm gonna refresh this page because I already did some tests this afternoon. So you can see there are 3 leads already sitting there, but that was the testing I did earlier. Okay, so when I refresh, then you can see the time right now is 1:52. So this most recent one is the one we just created. So it's this person, right? Okay. So this is how you connect your business card scanner. After you scan with the app, then actually at the back end it's going through the flow. What the flow does is it will map all the fields from your PowerApps to the CRM with the CRM connection. Okay. So I will show those steps how you create this app later. And now I'm gonna show you how can you use your phone. So on your phone, you can download the PowerApps from the App Store, or if you are using Android, you can download from Google Play. So I'm gonna map my phone through an app here. I'm gonna map my phone here. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna map my phone. So I'm gonna use the screen mirroring to mirror my phone so you can see what I can do on my phone, okay? So here, I already mapped my phone, and I'm gonna open the PowerApps. When I open it, then you can select, because you may have multiple instances of your CRM. So the one you notice I'm using the sandbox. So then I create some other apps within some other CRM instances, testing instances. So if I click on all apps on my phone, then it will show all the apps within all the instances. So the top one, I'm gonna refresh my app. So there are some other business card scanner I created from other instance. I deleted them, so it's gone. So this is the one, the most recent one I created with the sandbox. So when I open this, and you also see the same app showing up, I have the scan business card on the top. So what I'm gonna do on my phone, because I have a camera on the phone, so I can take a picture of the business card I received, right? So click on scan business card, then click. Okay, so you could see it's trying to load this photo. So after it analyzing the photo, then you will see the first name, last name, email, job title, phone number, and the company populate. Let's compare to see if it's correct. So first name Karen, last name Saunders, but it put the person's title there as well. That's fine. And then but it's MBA, not QA. So then CPA. So and the email address is correct, karen.saunders@wagnerlivevoke.com. Job title, so it didn't, yeah, this person doesn't have a job title, it's just the title, so it didn't put MBA, those kind of thing in the job title, so that we can manually enter it. So that's why I'm saying you have to train this model. So the AI model is not 100% perfect, you have to train it. So phone number 1-800-567-0822, that's correct. And the company name, Wagner, Levoke, and Associates, that's all correct. That's great. Then we can click on create lead. So once we click on create lead and it says successful, then you will see when we refresh our CRM, then you will see this new lead will show up on the list. Okay, Karen Saunders. So this MBA is listed here. Let's check the records here. You see the name, you see the job title, the CPA, and the phone number, email address. So everything is there. So this is great. So it helps a lot, but just this function is not very stable when you use the app. It depends on if the web service call get a connection or not. So yeah. So now I'm gonna show you how I created this app. Okay. So let's start from scratch. So first we need to go to our PowerApps. You log into PowerApps.microsoft.com, and then you have to sign in with your company credential. Let's sign in. It's already entered in another window, so that's why it's cached. And because it's single sign-on, it will take that credential. So then we have to make sure we select the correct environment. So if your company has multiple Dynamic 365 environment, you have to make sure you select the right one. So we are selecting the sandbox, okay? And then what we are gonna do, we are gonna create an app, and this app will be a Canvas app. So we create a Canvas app from blank. Because I already have that business card scanner app there, so I'm gonna call this one business card scanner 2, okay? And then you want to make sure you have the format of a phone, then you click on create. So after the Canvas app shows up, then we're gonna create those labels and the tags. So that's compared with, so it's still loading. Let's compare with the other apps we created. So we're gonna skip this, and you have just one screen. So under here, then you can select, say, insert, and you say AI builder. Then you want to click on this business card reader. So this is the one we want. We want to use this AI builder function. So this will be on the top. And then you want to create the labels, the tags, all those kind of stuff. So the labels we want is like the first name, last name. Okay, so we're gonna put the labels here. First name, And then, so this is a label. Under the label, then you have to create a text. So we have a text input for this first name. So we create this, okay? And so for this text input, then if you highlight this, you go to advanced, then you can see it's called the default text input, and you can see the property. You can see this text input is using text input 1, okay? And then you will do the same thing. I'm just making one example for you, so you can copy and paste this text label. This label, and so then this one will say last name, and then you can copy this input box. Okay, you copy this input box. So this one, if you look at here, now this text input box is called text input 1_1. Okay, and what you have to do in order to map this. So in order to map this to your CRM, you have to click on the Advanced tab and make sure you change this default. For the default, you have to map it to your CRM and to the field in your CRM. So what this business card reader does is like it's creating some mappings. And in order to map it to your CRM, so then so this field, we are going to map it to first name, okay? So we're going to map this to first name. Okay, so then for the last name, we're going to do the same thing. So for the default, you have to change this and make sure you use this business card reader, and then you map it to the last name. Okay, so I'm not gonna do it for all the other fields. So I'm just taking this first name, last name as example. So for the other field, like the job title, company, email, phone number, you will do the same thing, but you just use this business card reader, then dot, then like job. You have to put in all those, map those to all these text input. And at the bottom, then you're gonna add a button at the bottom. So this button will be the create lead. So you can rename this to create a lead. Okay, so we're gonna remove that, create. So you're gonna change this button name to create lead. Okay, then in order for it to connect to your flow, you have to link this create a lead button to your Dynamics 365. In order to do that, you have to create a PowerApps button. So you have to go to action, then go to flows. Because I already have this flow created. I'm gonna show you how. So if you don't, then you can click on create a new flow. It will bring you to the flows page. So I'm gonna show you how that flows page look like. So actually it's like this. So let's say I already have this flow created. If you don't, then if you are creating from scratch, let's go back to my flows. And so let's say if you're gonna create from scratch, I'm gonna delete this one, okay? Then you can know like how you create this. Okay, so once you delete that, if you go back to your PowerApps, then you will not see any flows linked to it anymore. So now you see it's gone, okay? And let's go back to my flow. Now I'm gonna create a new flow, and this flow I'm gonna use a template. And that template will be called PowerApps button. So let's search PowerApps button. You have a template already. So I'm gonna select this PowerApps button, and then I'm gonna use this, and so then I'm gonna use this template. So after it show up, then I will configure how you want to. So first step, Power Apps, you don't want to put anything there. You just add a new step. The new step is try to connect your Power Apps with your CRM. So it's your Dynamic 365. And so we're going to connect to Dynamic 365 and create a new record. So that button will create a new record in your Dynamic 365. Then you have to select your instance. So we're going to use that sandbox. So this is our instance, right? And then we're gonna create an entity. So the entity we're gonna select is the leads because we want it to show up under the leads, right? Now you have all these last name, all these come up, right? So we have to select last name. We select asking Power Apps. Topic, we just give it topic. Say leads from business cards, okay? And then for the company name, then we're gonna click on see more, then asking Power Apps. And then for the email, then we're gonna select see more, asking Power Apps. And for the first name, we're gonna select see more and asking Power Apps. And job title, we'll do the same thing, see more, asking Power Apps. And the mobile phone number, then we're gonna select see more and asking Power Apps. Okay, so these 6 fields are the ones we want to put on our business card scanning. But if you want to put the address, any other information available here, so because if you click on show advanced options, then you have address and lots of other information here. Then you can do the same mapping. You can say you want to get this information from Power Apps, and in Power Apps, then when you create the text input, then you have to do the mapping for the business card reader to map it to your CRM. So right now, let's say we just want to select these 6. Then click on save. Once you do this, then you can go back to your Power Apps, and once you do this, you can go back to your Power Apps. Then these options will be available. I have too many open. So and you already have this available. Then we have to link this create lead to this Power App Flow. Once you click on this, then click on Power Apps is adding. So it's adding it, but you just need to give the function. So remember, like it first shows the last name. You remember our last name is text input 1_1. So you have to map all those text to these names. So what you have to do is you have to put text input and 1_1 is this, right? Because this first name is text input 1. So then you have to set this, and then you put the dot text. So this is your input, then comma. Now you just keep on typing. So until, because this demo I only put 2 fields, and the one I did has 6 fields: first name, last name, job title, email, mobile phone, company name. So then you see all those on top: last name, company name, email. So you have to map those to the text, to the label of that text. So company name. So I'm going to show you the app I did. So I'm not going to finish this. So what you have to do, you have to keep on typing, map each text box to this on top, okay? And then I'm going to show you the apps I did. Then you can see how the completed one looks like. So click on this. Skip this. Okay, so then for this button, I'm gonna show you the function I did for this. So then you see here, you just keep on mapping all those 6 fields and to your text box label, right? So after you see the color text box is matching the color on the top. So after you match all these, then we're gonna create another screen, because we have to make sure when we click on create the lead, after the lead is created, we get a response saying success. So then you just insert a new screen, okay? And so insert a new success screen, and you will see something like this, okay? And you can change the text. So it was this is successful, and I changed it to success. So after you did this, then you have to make sure that this button has function to navigate to that screen to this success screen, and then you give it the fade effect. So I want it to fade when it goes to the second screen. Okay, so that's the effect. So that's the function I put it, that's the formula I put it there. And after you did this, then the app is pretty much done. So you see there's an arrow here, then you can try to get a help that the system tell you what error it found. Okay, so because we removed that, you remember we removed that flows and change it back, and it's telling you PowerApps button.run failed. Workflow triggers not enabled. You have to try to fix it. So there's a runtime error because of the flow. So what we can do, so you go here, then make sure the connection, when you go to flow, the connection is there. Okay, so because we deleted flow, so we want to make sure it's connecting to that flow again. So let's remove this. Okay, and then adding this again. Okay, so you see that error is gone because it couldn't find it. So that's why. So now we just need to get our function back. So let me put our function back. So formula, I mean, then you will see it, the error will disappear. So okay, so you see all the error disappeared, the runtime error, because we removed the flow and recreated, so we need to re-establish the connection. So then our app is done, we can just save it. Then since it's already published, then it will update to our published app. Okay, so the process, we can publish again. Publish will take this version. Okay. A very important thing I want to point it out is that when you create a flow, you have to make sure you connect to the same environment. So on the flow, I'm connecting to the sandbox, and on the PowerApps, I'm creating the apps in the sandbox as well. You have to make sure this environment you connect to on the PowerApps and on the flow are identical. If it's different environment, then your flow and your PowerApps will not connect to each other because they're in different environment. So this is very important. Okay, so I think that's everything I want to share with you guys today. Thank you so much for joining the session. I hope to see you guys again next time.